Okay, let's look at question number 10 as requested. Um, okay. Question number 10, 2023, January paper 2, pure maths. Using the formula given on page 2, these are the three formulas. I took a screenshot and show that sine 2 theta is equals to 2 sine theta cos theta. If any of you are going into engineering, this formula is kind of like a plus b whole squared for us. Like for example, how you have to know this. If you go into engineering, this is very crucial in a lot of subjects. This will come out of nowhere. Okay, this is a very useful formula. Okay, prove that this. So what we can do is sine 2 theta is equals to, you can write it as sine theta plus theta. When you write like this, it's kind of like you've already solved it. So we just use this sine theta cos theta plus cos theta sine theta. So we just rearrange it. Sine theta, we just write it at the beginning and then we write cos theta. So it becomes 2 sine theta cos theta. Easy. Then the next question, cos 2 theta. Similarly, cos 2 theta is equals to cos theta plus theta is equals to, we are going to use this formula, cos theta minus sine theta sine theta. So this becomes cos square theta minus sine square theta. Okay, now we have to prove this, so that means we have to bring in another cos square. But how? We know this, you have to know this, sine square theta plus cos square theta is equals to 1. Okay, for formulas that you have to memorize, what I would suggest is write it down on a piece of paper and stick it on the wall or on a board that you see every day, maybe on your desk or maybe right beside your bed. So you don't have to read it every day, you just see it every day there, and then it kind of like gets back to your gets stuck at the back of your mind, kind of like a song, you just know it. So just do that. And then if you want to have memorized, there's two more. They are sec square theta minus tan square theta is equals to 1, and there's another one, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's been a while, I think it's cosec square theta minus what's the other one, sine cot square theta is equals to 1, if I'm not mistaken. It's this. Okay, never mind, what we need is this one. So we can either convert the sine square into cos square or cos square into sine square. Cos 2 theta, we write it in another format, which is 1 minus 2 sine square theta, if I'm not mistaken. That comes from converting the cos square into sine square. Okay, so from here we get sine square theta is equals to 1 minus cos square theta, and if we had done the other way around, we get cos square theta is equals to 1 minus sine square theta. Okay, it depends on which one the question is asking. We go with either this or that. So since we have to convert sine square theta into cos square, we are going with this one, cos square theta minus 1 minus cos square theta, cos square theta minus 1 plus cos square theta 2 cos square theta minus 1. So that solves our first question A. Let's look at B. B, it says, given that theta is not equals to this, where n belongs to z, as I said before in a different question, z means integers. What is integers? These are positive, negative, whole numbers, and 0. Okay, for example, minus 5, minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Use the results from part A to show that sine 2 theta minus tan theta can be written as tan theta cos 2 theta. Now that means prove that or show that sin 2 theta minus tan theta is equals to tan theta cos 2 theta. As I've said in this channel before, when it comes to proving or showing something, we have two ways to do it. One is we either start with left hand side and work our way to right hand side, or we start with right hand side and work our way to left hand side. So for example, you start with left hand side and then you show all the working until you end up with right hand side, or you start with right hand side, you end up with left hand side. That's one way to do it. Or you start with an equation, so something something equals to something something, you work your way down until you get left hand side is equals to right hand side. Okay, so if you were to go with this, that means we would either choose this one or this one and then work our way, which gets a bit complicated here. In some scenarios that's the easier way, but in our case it is not. Okay, in most of your cases that you will encounter, you start with either left hand side and go to right hand side, or start with right hand side, go to left hand side. Okay, we are gonna try both. Okay, left hand side is equals to sine 2 theta minus tan theta. First thing you do is you break down sine 2 theta using this 2 sine theta cos theta minus, we are going to break down this tan theta as well using a formula given in the sheet. Tan theta is equals to sine theta is over cos theta. It's on the formula page. Sine theta over cos theta. So we can take sine theta common here. We get 2 cos theta minus 1 over cos theta. Sine theta, cos theta at the bottom. Cos theta is the LCM, so we get 2 cos square theta minus 1. So what do we have to do here? Tan theta. Tan theta is what? Sine theta over cos theta. You kind of have to, if you kind of keep that in at the back of your mind, it's gonna get slightly easier for you. Okay, so sine theta over cos theta, we have tan theta right here. What we are left with is 2 cos square theta minus 1, and if you look closely, that is exactly right here. So this you can just replace with tan theta cos 2 theta. Okay, that is our right hand side, is equals to right hand side. Now let's say we woke up on the wrong side of the bed and we decided no, we are going to do it differently today. So we are going to start with right hand side and work our way to the left hand side. Tan theta cos 2 theta. Again, tan theta is equals to sine theta over cos theta, and cos theta is equals to 2 cos square theta minus 1, where? From here. Sine theta cos theta into 2 cos square theta minus sine theta over cos theta. Now in this case, breaking down wasn't so helpful because we have to combine these two to get tan theta right here. Okay, we already have one part, we just have to find the other part. Now this cos theta and this cos square theta cancels out, so we are only left with cos theta. So sine theta cos theta, and then 2 here minus this becomes tan theta. So this part right here is nothing but sine 2 theta. Sine 2 theta minus tan theta. Okay, in this case it looks easier in both ways, like starting with left hand side and working your way to the right hand side, or the other way around. Both of them are quite similar and easier, but in some cases you would find that starting with left hand side is easier than starting with right hand side, or vice versa. Why is that? Because sometimes you might have a long expression on the left hand side and then a very short one on the right hand side. So in that scenario, starting with this is most likely wiser. Why? Because it's easier to simplify than expand, because when you're simplifying, some of the terms cancels out. For example, middle term factorization, we know that, like when you have a squared plus 2ab plus b squared, going from this to a plus b whole squared, if you didn't know the formula, obviously you would have to do the middle term factorization. You would have to break down 2ab. It will be slightly more difficult than going from a plus b whole squared into from a plus b whole squared to a square plus 2ab plus b squared. So that means it's easier to simplify than expand. So most likely it will be easier to go with the larger terms, okay, because otherwise you would have to split some terms or bring out some terms, so that's a bit difficult than simplifying or cancelling out or just adding or subtracting, okay. But in this case, this is it doesn't matter which side you start with, okay. Okay, let's look at question number 3. Question number 6. Using the result, solve for 0 less than x less than 360. Okay, uh, from where exactly? I believe from here. Oh, sorry, I didn't see this. I didn't notice this. So solve for 0 less than x less than 360 for this, okay. So sine 2x minus 10x is equals to 0. Now we have to solve this, but in order to solve this we would have to bring it to uh, factorized format and then say take 0 as 0 basically. But how are we going to do that? We don't have to do any work because we have already done the work, which is this. So we can directly write tan theta cos 2 theta is equals to 0. So that means, as we know, when product of two values are 0, and that means either this is 0 or this is 0 or both of them are 0, okay. So either tan theta is equals to 0 or cos 2 theta is equals to 0. Okay, let's start with 10. Tan theta, it says 0 to 360 without exclusive, not inclusive of 0 and 360. That means if we have this, always draw this. So that means this is 0, 180, 270 and 360. So that means it starts here without 0 and it goes up until 360, not equals to 360, okay. So tan theta is 0 right at this point and this point, okay. Sine is also 0 here and cosine is 0 here and here, okay. So if you don't know this, just put it on the calculator, and if you want to understand basically what it means is, like, let's start with sine. If we draw something like this and we assume this angle is 0 degree, if it's 0 degree, what happens? This becomes 0. Why? Because as you reduce this angle, this kind of gets smaller. For example, when we reduce this angle, this got smaller, right? So when we hit 0 degree, this will be non-existent. Compared to 0 degree, compared to this angle, what is this? This is the opposite. And what do we know about sine? Sine is opposite by hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is not 0 obviously, because you're gonna have some value here, okay, and opposite is 0. So 0 divided by non-zero value is 0. Similarly, 10 is adjacent. So 0 divided by non-zero value is 0. But if you put cosine cos 0 degree, it doesn't matter what your opposite is. The only thing matters is adjacent by hypotenuse, and since there's no opposite, your adjacent and hypotenuse becomes the same, so they cancel out each other and become cos 0 degree is 1. Okay, the same thing happens right here. For cos 0, adjacent will be 0, so 0 divided by non-zero becomes 0. For sine, it becomes 1. But for tangent, it's a bit complicated because tan is opposite. In this scenario right here, opposite, if you draw a triangle like this, you have to draw the triangle always like this. The 90-degree angle will be on the positive side of the x-axis. Okay, your opposite is a non-zero value, and your adjacent, which is on this side, I'm making a mess here. As you reduce the angle, increase the angle, when your hypotenuse comes here, your hypotenuse and opposite becomes the same, and your adjacent becomes 0. Non-zero value divided by 0, it becomes infinity. Okay, so that's how it works basically. But let's get back to our math. Okay, if you didn't understand any of that, don't worry about it. That's not necessary for you. Okay, what you can do is you can just put on the calculator, where if you get a math error, that means it's because it's infinity, otherwise you'll get 0 or 1. Okay, so for tangent, 0 is here and here. We can't take this one. Why? Because tan 0 degree is not inclusive here. Okay, value of x is never 0. Sorry, this is x, this is also x. So 10x is equals to tan 270 degree. That means x is equals to 270 degree. That is one of our solutions. So let's put a box around it. And is there any other ones? So you will get the same value when you come 360 degree. For example, if you have 45 degree right here, you will get the same results after coming 360 degree, after going one round and then coming here, and then going again, you go two full circle and you get 270 degree. You come to this point, you get the same value again. Same value meaning tan theta plus equals to tan 180 degree plus theta. 360 degree plus theta, 720 degree plus theta. Okay, so the next value, that would be 0 for 10. The first one is here, the second one is right there, 270. Sorry, this is 90 degree, this is 180 degree, this is 270 degree, my bad. So this is 180 degree. My brain's not working today, I'm extremely sorry for that. Okay, the next one would be 360, and then the next one would be 360 plus 180, whatever that is. You will get 10 theta is equals to 0, but none of those are in this region. Okay, in this limit, the only thing we get is 180 degrees. So we are done with 10x. Let's look at cos 2 theta. Okay, so we get for cos 0, we get one of the value we get is right here, cos 90 degree, and the other one is right here, 270 degree. So cos 2 theta is equals to cos 90 degree. So 2 theta is equals to 90, theta is equals to 45 degree. Let's put a box around it and then do it again, since we have another one. Cos 2 theta is equals to cos 270 degree. So 2 theta is equals to 270 degree. theta is equals to 270 divided by 2, so 250 is 125, that's 20, 135, I believe, 135 if I'm not mistaken. So there's another one. Now you might think that is the answer right there, but it's not. You might have a few more. Okay, why is that? Because for you, this is x, by the way. Why am I writing theta? For you, the limit is given in x, but you're using 2x right here. Okay, so that means 0 less than 2x less than 720 degree. Okay, that means you can go 2 full circles. Okay, so we got one in 90 degree, we got another one in 270 degree, then the next one would be you come 360 degree plus 90. So the next one is cos 2x is equals to cos 360 degree plus 90 degree. So 2x is equals to 360 degree plus 90, and that is 360 plus 90 is 450 divided by 2, that's 225. 225, you constantly have to check if this value is within this range or not. Okay, even though you know it will be, it's better, it's good to check. Okay, and also when you see that like 45, 135, maybe since I got like two values before 180, maybe there might be another one. Okay, so it's good to always check the range. Okay, the next one would be, let's put a box around it. Cos 2x is equals to cos, so the one we just found is right here, so the next one would be you get 360, then from there you get plus 270. Basically this plus 270, 360 degree plus 270 degree. So 2x is equals to 360 degree plus 270. So x is 360 plus 270 divided by 2, that's 315. Let's put a box. So that means x is 180, 45, 135, 225, 315. If you put any of these value in this equation or this equation, in this equation, you will always get 0. On the left hand side, if you put the value of x, any of the value, you will get 0 right here. Okay, if you don't, that means that value is wrong. So that's it for this question.